Hey friend, Henry Flowers here, Powerful Living Outreach Ministry. This is the first broadcast of 2024. Listen, I'm excited. I'm excited because I got a plan in place and I am getting ready to place the plan. I got a plan, I'm about to work the plan, and it's about to happen. This coming Sunday will be my empowerment sessions launch. In-person sessions on Sunday, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm scared to death. Yeah, scared to death and excited because, this is the first time that I will have pioneered a work ministry-wise that has my name on it, so to speak. My face, I've been, in the background, second, playing, not second fiddle, but, second in command or second leader, that kind of stuff, but pioneering a work on your own, putting your name on it, things get different. And, whether it rises or falls, it's on me. And there are going to be people that come along and say, hey, we with you. Let's go. Let's do this. And I'm going to just tell you from my own experience, there's going to be a whole lot more people that say we with you than there will be people that actually are with you. It's just human nature. There's nothing to be mad at people about or nothing to get upset about at all, even with yourself. It's just, what it is that you're dealing with when you deal with people. And so therefore, in this podcast today, and especially for the beginning of the year, I want you to walk with me on this challenge. And as you take a look at your life, listen, we got to ask ourselves, what is it that we trying to take a risk on? Something that you're trying to create that's powerful and meaningful and long lasting. See, I always want people to know the good life begins when you begin to make a powerful impact in the life of someone who can never repay you. So think about that. Think about when's the last time you did something for somebody who can never repay you? When's the last time you made an investment in the life of somebody who can do you no favors, give you no payback, no quid pro quo, ain't none of that there for them. It's just you reaching down, helping somebody and causing their life to become better, even at your own expense. See, that's what powerful living is about. And so on this coming Sunday and every Sunday, we're going to be having empowerment sessions at 10:30 a.m. We'll be meeting at the in the upper room, 5616 Wolf Pen Pleasant Hill Road, right off of 275 in Milford. Listen, when we talk about making an impact on people, it's like powerful living is something that we need to put into practice. And that's what we're going to be doing at the empowerment sessions. So it's one-on-one coaching in a group setting where people come together and they say, hey, listen, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm struggling with. This is what I need help with. This is an area of my life where I'm feeling a loss of power. And it'll be my job as the empowerment session leader to use biblical principles and discover biblical principles that person can use to overcome these obstacles and to make transformation in their lives. Because sometimes you got to get your own transformation before you can help somebody else. Right. And that's why I love the scripture, the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 8 is one of my favorite scriptures. It's really one of the foundation stones of powerful living. It says, but you receive power after the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you'll be witnesses unto me. See, this is real proof, scriptural proof that God is requiring action from us. We have been saved to save. Okay? We have been set free to set free. See, we've been empowered to empower. So there's that action that God is requiring of us as believers. And at the empowerment sessions, listen, it's not going to be church as usual. This is an addition to church, right? This is something you have. Keep going to church, keep doing things. It's great. When you come to the empowerment sessions, just understand that we're going to be working on something that helps you put the power into practice. Like whatever it is that you heard from your sermon the last couple of weeks, if it's something you need one-on-one focused training and discipline and discipleship on, where you can actually put the puzzle together, this is how you make that transformation in your life. And we hold each other accountable in the group, and there's possible people in the group that can help you take the next step in that area. I don't care if it's your relationship on the job, friends, family, finances, mental health, all this kind of stuff. We're working together to show real results because we want power to show up in our lives. That's what powerful living is about. That's what it's supposed to be about. And so when he says, you'll be witnesses unto me, what is a witness? But other than somebody who testified of the things that they've seen and heard. So if you're witnessing throughout the world about Jesus, what about him have you seen and heard in your life? What has Jesus done in your life? That's what evangelism is. You're going around telling somebody, hey, look, this is what happened since I accepted Jesus Christ. You don't have to worry about defeating somebody's argument. If people want to be atheists, they can be whatever they want. They can believe whatever they want. You don't have to convince somebody to believe what you believe. Nah, if there's power showing up in your life, all you got to do is tell your story. This is what happened since I first believed. That's powerful living. And that's what we're doing at the empowerment sessions. So for me, this is a huge step for me, and I'm excited about it, but it's okay. I got some plans. I got plans to make it happen. And so I've been waving this around. You know, this is my book. If you haven't gotten this book, this is a great book, not just for your young people, but for you. 5 things that I did to get myself off the streets of Detroit and living a life that I love. And the first step is what we're going to talk about today, because power happens first when you have a plan. Yeah. I love this. It's over 2,000 years ago, wise King Solomon said, the plans of the diligent one surely leads to success, but all who are hasty surely head for poverty. Wise King Solomon. So as I began to write this book, one of the first things that I did was, the first step in the Henry formula is have a plan. What's your plan? For me, I plan to shift from, not just from, because I'll still be having the small groups. I plan to shift, in addition to the small groups that we have during the week, more people are available Sundays. So we're going to be having empowerment Sundays, empowerment sessions on Sundays at 10:30. And the people who come are the people who want to put powerful living into practice. Let's go. Let's be equipped. Let's equip each other. Be equipped to learn how to do the work. And my plan is in effect. I already got some stuff going. I got to get Zoom going because my family's like, hey, we want to be there to support you. I got family all over the place in South Carolina, Texas, California, North Carolina, like all over the place. And they're like, hey, Zoom us in. So I got to get Zoom going so I can put up my iPad right there in the meeting room area. And then my family will be on there on the Zoom link. I got to get all that going. I got to figure that out by this weekend. That's my plan, to have some support. It's really important. Yeah, the thing that you have planned for your life and the thing that you say that you want to do, you know, it's a really good thing to have support. And that's family. Family can be there for you if they are supporters. Just because they family don't mean they supporters. No. Let's not get it twisted, okay? And so there's this thing here called have a plan. So if you had my book and you turn to page 17, this is chapter 2, the first step in Henry formula, because I really want you to walk through this with me because we can work through this together. There's something that you got going on in your life that you want to accomplish. I want to help you do that. Why? Because this is what it means to be empowered and to have evidence to be able to tell somebody. That's what Jesus says when he says you'll be a witness unto me. He says, listen, you got to be able to go tell somebody something, and you can only testify the things that you've both seen and heard. And so for this year, 2024, man, we got to get out here and we got to begin to do some things to empower ourselves and to be able to go out and make some things happen. And so here, the first step is have a plan. That's the first step in the Henry formula. H, have a plan. You can go to Amazon, wherever you want. Get this book, Bored to Death, Henry Flowers. Have a plan. Here we go. Once you know what that life looks like for you, then you can make a plan to make it happen. This is where the Henry formula comes in. And this is what I used to move myself from the streets of Detroit, where I was poor, broke, and hungry all the time. This is no joke. Stephen A. Smith ain't the only one who's always hungry. That's why I love reading his book. See, if you haven't read a book, good. Listen, Stephen A. Smith book, Straight Shooter. I love this book because it just made me realize, oh, thank you, Lord, I ain't the only one who was always hungry. You should read that book. Oh God, the book changed my life. And so it's like poor, broken, hungry all the time. And then I moved from that to being married, 5 remarkable children, and a career that lets me do what I love to do the most. I get to engage, guide, and inspire others on the path to that life. That's what I do. Some do, some teach. God has gifted me with the ability to be able to communicate and to teach and encourage and inspire. And that's what I've been doing for more than 20 years. And so now the next step is the empowerment sessions on Sunday. So more people are available on Sunday. I feel like the Lord is telling me to go out and push and launch out. And that's what's going to happen this coming Sunday. So it's like I'm doing what God's called me to do to help inspire people to go and do the work. Yeah. So here we go. My life today is beyond my wildest imagination from when I was a teenager and even a young man. It's truly unreasonable and ridiculously awesome. It all begins with the Henry formula. I share the Henry formula acrostic, not just so you can remember my name, but so you can remember my game. And the game is an unreasonable and ridiculously awesome life. That's what that life is. So, listen, don't worry about the kids. Hey, y'all know I'm doing a podcast, right? I'm trying to be all professional and stuff. But that's okay. So listen, don't bother that, because don't let that bother you. It ain't bothering me. Because at the empowerment sessions, y'all need to know this too. It's a kid-friendly environment. That's right. We got space for the kids. If they get unruly or whatever, we got another space for them to go to. But we want the kids to come because the young people need to hear this too. Young people need to hear what we're working through as we empower each other. And as we find out what kind of testimonies you have from the work that we did previously, and you went out and you executed those things, and now you coming back for a testimony. Listen, that encourages everybody. Where you going, Josh? How you just gonna walk behind my set, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anytime you come to the empowerment sessions, just understand it's a kid-friendly environment. Like, we don't roll like that. Jesus says, do not hinder the little children to come unto me. Let them come. So having a plan. Listen, what is it in your life that you really want to do? You got to write it down, and you got to get it down on paper. Not just writing it down on paper, but you gotta, sometimes it goes on paper first and you begin to read it over and over again, and then it finally ends up in your heart. But sometimes writing it down, whatever it is, your business plan, a hope for the future, a family, career, more spiritually minded, healthy, physically, relationship, all of these kind of things that people have on a plan, especially, first of the year, people making plans. You have to see the line at the gym because people got plans. And, we'll talk more about the rest of my book later, but sometimes people have trouble following through with the plan. But it's okay. First step is write it down. Write it down. Say, hey, this is what I want to do. It took me a while to write it down and say, hey, listen, because I really wanted to stay small groups. I really did not want to go to a Sunday service because I felt like I have the small groups gift. But, the Lord just told me, Henry, people are more available on Sunday. You want more people to get these transformations in life, you got to make yourself available when people are more available. So, yeah, Sunday morning, empowerment sessions. So I wrote the plan, started sending out an invite. You maybe have gotten this invite, send it out to some other people. And you know what I did? See, here's the thing. When it comes to writing down a plan, you want to have steps, small steps that are sustainable, easily achievable. And don't go out and start buying a bunch of stuff. Whatever it is that you plan to do, if you want to start a landscaping business, man, don't go out and start buying a whole bunch of equipment. You get yourself sunk into debt, and it's going to change your whole trajectory. And it's going to cause you to be stifled. Now, just little by little, the Bible says wealth is gathered. Little by little. Start with your little push mower that you got. Start with your little weed whacker that you borrowed from your friend. Make sure you send it back. Give it back when you're done. How much of my stuff got borrowed? And then you go to your neighbor's house, you be borrowing back from your neighbor. Hey, can I borrow that? And you look at that thing, wait, that's mine. They done had it so long, it becomes theirs now. Don't do that. So start small. So for me, it's like, I know that I need to have, I got to get posters, because you already know, if you've been following me, you already know I got a building. I've been gifted a building, a really nice building, like for real. You'll find out when you come. And so there's no overhead for the building. See, I avoided that pitfall. Many ministries fail because they spend too much money too soon on a building. You got nobody coming, you got no financial strength, and then you got this bill every month for the building, and that's not sustainable. Listen, God's thing done God's way will always have God's supply. How do you know what God's called you to do? Once you write it down and begin to take steps to move toward it, the funding starts to come, bro. Girlfriend, it starts to happen. People start sowing into your life when they see you doing a good thing. God has the heart of the king in his hand, and he turns it whatever so way he will. See, when you have committed to saying yes to Jesus, and you said yes to his plan, you said yes to being a witness to him, he finances everything that you need. All you got to be willing to do is wait. You didn't like that word, did you? I know, most of us don't like it. Most of us don't like to wait. We want it now. No, but he says wait. And so while you're waiting, don't spend too much. Y'all, listen, man, I could have spent a bunch of money, because I know I'd like to have posters out front of the building. I'd like to have a sign, that big old wavy flag thing. No, not this dude. No, this dude will never be in front of my building. No, not that dude. A flag, the flags outside that say empowerment sessions, powerful living, or whatever. And then some posters out front. I like to have a backdrop, all that kind of stuff. I need flyers and digital invites and all that kind of stuff. I need all that stuff. But man, listen, I don't need it right now. All that stuff is nice to have, but I don't need it right now. I need to take small steps. So you know what I did? I went right into my phone, and I just made a note, and I wrote down all the information on here. And here's my plan for Sunday empowerment sessions. And I could have went to Vista's print and spent all that stuff on posters and stuff. Ain't necessary yet. Take your time. Let the plan work itself. Don't get ahead of the plan. Join us for an empowerment session where powerful living is put into practice. 10:30 a.m. Sunday mornings, 5616 Wolf Pen Pleasant Hill Road, Milford, Ohio, 45150. 513-404-7793. Powerful Living 2022 at gmail.com is where you can contact us, and powerfulliving2022.org is the website. Children welcome. Need a ride? Call or text us, and we'll send ride share your way. That's it. Look how simple that is. I want to show you. See how simple that is? I just put that there on my phone, and this is the invite that I send out to people. I had to pay nothing for Vistaprint. Hey, y'all, this is my plan. And I've already connected with people who say, Henry, we love what you're doing. We want you to see you do it more. All right. Y'all willing to do this on Sundays? I'm more free on Sunday, bro. What are you talking about? So that's what's happening. See, once you write it down, you're able to share the vision with people, and then people can run with the vision. Because once it becomes alive to you and it's a real value to people, you're bearing witness to the thing that God has birthed on the inside of you. And once you begin talking about it, the people whom God is sending your way to help you in your work, those people will grab a hold of that vision and they'll run with it. That's why it's so important to first have a plan. Write it down, bro. Write it down, sister. You got to get it. Here's my plan. I ain't spending a whole bunch of money. You know how much money it costs this to put this together? None. Yeah, don't get out there too deep financially. And so I'm sending this invite out to people, and that's what it's going to be. And then what I'm going to do is this Sunday, not only will I have my family there on a Zoom group so they can be there for my personal support, because it's going to be great to have them there for support, but also I'm going to cast the vision for what I need for, or what the outreach ministry needs for the signage, and somebody's going to sponsor that. I ain't gonna pay for it. God's thing done God's way will never lack God's supply. There's somebody there who's gonna pay for the signage and everything that we need for advertising, just static advertising on the location. But also somebody's gonna pay for the rideshare ministry. Because if people need a ride, and they will need a ride, because some people that I minister to are in different places than you are. They may not have all the transportation that you have. They may not have all the financial resources that you have. And so I want to be there to support them. And I want to be able to send ride share their way so they can come and they can go. And somebody's going to sponsor Powerful Living Ride Share Ministries. And every ride that I give to somebody who shows up for the empowerment session, that person who has wealth, because God has given them the ability to gain wealth, that person is going to have that tab, and they're going to take care of it. That's how God does it, man. When your plan is one that does an amazing work in the life of people, and you can show a transformation in people's lives through your work, man, people will sow into your work. That's why you got to have a plan. There's something great awaiting for you this year. Like, don't you want to be something this year? Don't you want to do something powerful and meaningful? Yeah, of course you do. It's in everybody. And so you begin to write the plan down. And from that plan, you begin to share that plan with others. Share it with yourself. Get in front of the mirror and declare who you are and what you're going to be. And your soul and mind will begin to believe you. I spoke this book into existence. I had to stand in front of the mirror many times, especially when it came down to the investing in the book and this kind of stuff, because I had something that I wanted to share and the world needed to hear it. And I can't say it all at once every time I go and speak. So now when I do public speaking, at first I was a speaker who spoke about stuff. And once I had my book, I began to be a speaker who spoke about my book. And if you want to hear the rest, you grab the book. There it is. So this dream, this vision that you have, write it down. And if it's powerful and if it impacts people's lives, people will begin to sow into your dream. Hey, I know this guy. Or, hey, I know this girl. Hey, have you ever thought about doing this with that? And there's your next big idea, and it takes you to the next place of glory. That's powerful living. And those are the things that are available when you write it down and you create it with yourself, and then you turn around and you create it with other people. Yeah, that's powerful living. Moving on. I ain't gonna be here this long. This podcast ain't gonna be that long. But this is what we're looking at. And so when I'm talking about having a plan, just understand I ain't just telling you about stuff that you need to go do. Powerful living is something that I'm doing because I want to go and be a witness to him. I want to be a witness of the greatness of Jesus Christ in my life. And I wanted to show forth in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the uttermost parts of the earth. Like, I want to have a legacy that I leave behind. You know how long this book will be available for folks? Forever. You know how long this music will be available for folks? Forever. It's on sale on iTunes. Some of y'all haven't had my album. You better get on iTunes. Henry Flowers. Look it up. I got music for streaming on iTunes. And these are things that I had a plan that says, hey, I got to use my gifts. And so that's where it starts. Writing it down, and before you know it, you begin to confess these things, and it turns into reality. And now I'm starting an empowerment session this Sunday where I'm going out on a limb. I'm scared to death, but I'm excited as well. Scared to death. That's right. Scared to death. I said it because I'm dying to myself in order to accomplish God's best for my life. And friend, that's what I want you to do. So let's start this 2024 season off right. Have a plan. Write it down on paper, and not just on paper, but you got to write it down upon the pages of your heart. You talk to yourself. You tell yourself the plan. You write it down. You tell somebody else. And then before you know it, man, powerful living is right at the door. And you get to do something great. And you get to possibly make a transformation in the life of someone who can never repay you, my man. My sister, there's greatness on the inside of you, just like there's greatness on the inside of me. Now, I'm not special. If I can accomplish what I accomplished after all of the setbacks I had in my life, after surviving the streets of Detroit and becoming who I am today, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It might sound cliche, but I'm just telling you, God is no respecter of person. He wants to do great things in your life, but it's got to be you. You got to be willing to take a risk. You got to be willing to jump out there and invest yourself in something, like all of yourself, and just go after it. And be great. Don't be scared to be great. Leave a legacy. Let somebody be talking about you after you are gone. Yeah. I love the movie Troy. If you hadn't seen the movie Troy, I'll finish with this. It's one of my favorite lines. One of my favorite movies, True Troy. Man, the character Achilles was played. And he says, so there's a little boy running to the tent because the king is calling for Achilles on the battlefield. There's this big monster out there. He's waiting to fight. Our champion against your champion. And then the king sends this messenger, his little boy, little teenage boy, young boy, sends this messenger. Achilles ain't on the battlefield. Achilles still asleep. So he runs all the way back and says, Achilles, the king has summoned you onto the battlefield. There's a monster out there. He's a massive, monstrous man, and the king wants you to kill him. And Achilles is waking up. What'd you say? And the kid repeats it. And he says, he's a monstrous man. And Achilles is putting on his armor. He's getting ready to go to the fight. And the boy says, aren't you afraid? He's a terrible man. I wouldn't want to fight him. And Achilles says, Brad Pitt is so good in this role. He looked the kid in the eye after the kid says, I wouldn't want to fight him. And Achilles says, and that is why no one will ever remember your name. My friend, let's go fight the fight. Let's leave a legacy. Let's live the rest of our lives in power because the Holy Spirit has come upon us. That way, once we're gone, people will remember your name. Powerful Living, Henry Flowers. I ain't going nowhere. I'm coming back.